Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday. Hey, baby, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Fabulous. Get to work with my wife. I'm the luckiest dude ever. Also got a Dear John letter to answer here, and I kind of wonder if this has run its course. I wonder if we should...
the letters are getting fewer and fewer.
And they're getting tough. I mean, some of these I'm like, I don't know if this is really what I want to do. It's like heavy advice, man. And I kind of feel like I don't have the clinical training for this. So
I don't think anybody writes us expecting a clinically trained response to anything.
Hope not. I was kind of hoping for, advice that would be funny, but it's not always so funny. But we do have Dear John letters coming your way. Ralph Waldo Emerson is our quote for today. He says, "What lies behind you is what lies in front of you, pales in comparison to what lies inside of you."
Wow, it's pretty deep for the Karate Kid.
Wow. Ralph Waldo Emerson was not the Karate Kid. Oh, thanks for listening.
Ralph Macchio.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday. If you have a dog, listen to this. FreshPatch.com is a subscription service that will send you a box with a fresh patch of grass for your dog to use for a few weeks. Then they send you a new fresh patch and you discard the old one. You can throw it in the trash, use it for compost, or even put it in your yard and it'll grow into the ground. FreshPatch.com has thousands of happy dog families who love this concept, especially in the colder months. Try it now for a little less. Use promo code RADIO to save 10%. That's FreshPatch.com, promo code RADIO. Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Thursday, the 27th day of September. It's the last Thursday in September, by the way. National Scarf Day. So get your scarves out. Get them ready to go. National Crust. I'm sorry, what? Try that again. National Crush a Can Day. Not crust. Crush a can. National Chocolate Milk Day. And National Corned Beef Hash Day. Mm-hmm. All of that happening on this Thursday, the 27th day of September. Radio. It's a pretty amazing marketing tool. But like many tools, it works best when used properly. Like, let's take this weed whacker. I could use this to trim my hair. Yikes. Hope that grows back. But that's not what weed whackers are for. Tools work much better when you use them for their proper use, just like radio. If you want help making radio work better for your business, that's our business. RadioReallyWorks.com. Get better results with the money you're already spending. RadioReallyWorks.com. Time now for Is It a Golf Course or Is It a Rehab Center? Heidi, tell me, is this a golf course or a rehab center? Quaker Ridge, Scarsdale, New York. Quaker Ridge.
Golf course.
And the answer is golf course. Ha! You got it right. Good job, baby.
I ended a losing streak just there.
Yeah, that was I'm glad that you did because it was getting kind of sad, really. I'm not going to lie. Coming up.
Thank you.
Coming up, we get your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. We're getting to the time of year where we start planning for holiday parties and other events that often include alcohol. I encourage you to have some alcohol-free options as well. And if you are drinking, be sure to have a designated driver. If you or someone you know has a problem with drugs or alcohol, there is help. TimeForRehab.com would love to connect you with someone who can be there for you or that loved one. If you feel like it's time to finally get the help you need, we're here for you. TimeForRehab.com. That's TimeForRehab.com. And this is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. A woman is accused of using glitter glue and crayons to get drugs to her boyfriend inside the Hampton City Jail in Virginia. Well, it's a good thought, right? No, probably not. Crystal Milne, age 33, from Hampton, arrested on August 16th, accused of attempting to mail suspected narcotics into the jail. Court documents reveal they received at the jailhouse a phone call, and they monitored the call because when you're in jail, they do that. Mm-hmm. And it was between Robert Davis and his girlfriend. Documents state the two were discussing some narcotics were going to be mailed. According to the documents, they accused them of spending some... She's accused of telling him to pay special attention to the middle cloud in the picture. And she's going to try to use glitter glue this time. So she was gluing drugs to it, apparently. Anyway, She was arrested for 1 count of delivery of drugs to a prisoner and possession of marijuana. So when they picked her up, she had some marijuana on her as well. So
Nice.
bad idea. All that, bad idea. That's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Actor Al Pacino is 79 years young. He's dating an actress half his age. Israeli actress Mital Dohan. I don't know if I said any of that right. She stars in a series called Weeds, and I've never seen it.
I've never watched it.
Is that about gardening?
I don't believe so,
I doubt
but I have never watched it.
Okay,
So.
Jane Fonda's in the news. She says she would rather than trying to make a comeback. She says Louis C.K. should work at Starbucks. Okay, what is wrong with... I don't understand. And I'm not saying that what he did was bad or wasn't good. It was not good. But why would she say
I'm just
of
so
all the
over
things...
all of these ridiculous... Who cares?
But I'm just saying, of all the things, why would you say he should work at Starbucks? What's wrong with people who work at Starbucks? I mean, come on, Jane, calm down. Comedian Jim Gaffigan is in the news. He's being sued by an actor who was hit in the head by a soccer ball that Jim Gaffigan's daughter kicked at him
Are you kidding?
on the set of a commercial in 2016.
Are you kidding?
So what happened in 2016 and now you're suing? I don't understand that. It's like, oh, hey, I just realized that girl's Jim Gaffigan's daughter.
Yeah.
Well, now I have headaches.
Yeah.
I don't know. There could be way more to it than that. I have no idea. I just think it seems really weird. Again, I got links to all of these bizarre stories in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Radio. It's a pretty amazing marketing tool. But like many tools, it works best when used properly. Like, let's take this weed whacker. I could use this to trim my hair. Yikes. Hope that grows back. But that's not what weed whackers are for. Tools work much better when you use them for their proper use, just like radio. If you want help making radio work better for your business, that's our business. RadioReallyWorks.com. Get better results with the money you're already spending. RadioReallyWorks.com. Now your scoop of the day comes your way courtesy of 80sinthesand.com. A great-grandmother in Texas revealed that she has killed a 580-pound alligator with just one shot when it approached her home.
Atta girl.
Grandma told reporters she plans to eat the gator meat and display the humongous head in her office.
Atta girl. I have never had alligator meat. I didn't even know you could eat alligator.
Yeah, you can.
Suppose it tastes like chicken?
Probably. You know what? Actually, yes. I've had alligator, and it did taste like chicken. Everything tastes like chicken, though. Center for Disease Control announced that the number of people with Alzheimer's and dementia is expected to double by the year 2060. This is crazy. And my grandmother, I remember when I was a little kid, my dad's grandmother, who lived with us for a while, had Alzheimer's. Now my mother's mother, who is a grandmother on that side, has Alzheimer's. And it's a tough thing when, you know, you'll sit there and talk to them and she'll ask the same question. I remember when my sister was in the hospital because she was having a child. She's like, well, what's wrong with her again? Why is she in the hospital? You know, it's tough.
hard.
That
It's
is
hard.
a tough one. So if you have somebody that's going through that, give them lots of hugs and, you know, just love them, love them, love them. New study found that 1 in 3 TripAdvisor reviews are fake. Well,
yeah.
you can't believe what
They're
you read
plans.
online?
No.
you
They're
serious?
plans from the hotel that...
A lot of the ones that you read on there are not very positive, so I don't think those are plans.
No, not the negative ones are, but the positive ones usually are.
The positive ones are like, I had a wonderful stay.
Yeah.
Michael was fabulous.
Best place ever. And then you go and stay there and like the ceiling's falling in.
The 50% of the ceiling tiles that were up looked good. Trying to find a positive spin here. In Ohio, Gentlemen's Club is what we're going to say, was shut down after they were caught accepting food stamps for dances. Yeah. It's a gentleman's club.
That's nice.
In Spain, police there say a dress-wearing bank robber was actually a man. The mustache was the giveaway. He was easily spotted by police a couple blocks from the bank, dressed as a woman, but he didn't shave off the mustache. He was not very committed to the role. About 2,000 people descended on a town in England over the weekend to observe and compete in the World Black Pudding Throwing Competition.
Black pudding?
Yeah.
What's black pudding?
It's pudding that's black. The annual event outside the town's
I've seen
pub.
chocolate pudding.
It involves a competition of who attempts to dislodge large Yorkshire puddings placed on a 32-foot-high scaffold by throwing smaller puddings about the size of a hockey puck at them.
Okay, we're talking like pudding.
Yeah.
It's the same here, right? Okay, England listeners, please let us know what is black pudding.
It's a type of dessert, like figgy pudding.
Okay, but
bread pudding.
How is it black?
Okay, it's the word pudding in England is just a word for dessert. Yes.
So what is black pudding then?
I don't know. We're out of time.
That's what I'm saying. Let us know.
I'm going to use this little tool called Google to find out what we're talking about. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday. We're getting to the time of year where we start planning for holiday parties and other events that often include alcohol. I encourage you to have some alcohol-free options as well. And if you are drinking, be sure to have a designated driver. If you or someone you know has a problem with drugs or alcohol, there is help. Timeforrehab.com would love to connect you with someone who can be there for you or that loved one. If you feel like it's time to finally get the help you need, we're here for you. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com. And it's time right now for Dear John Letters.
Dear John.
And if you've got a Dear John letter you'd like to send in, we'll tell you how to do that in a bit. But first, our Dear John letter for today. Dear John, I've been happily married for 24 years. I have 3 grown children and 1 grandson. I just found out that my husband cheated on me when we were dating. It was one night stand 25 years ago, because she said they were married for 24 years, so it's a year before they got married. One night stand 25 years ago at a frat party in college, and it never happened again. Since I learned of this, we have taken a little time apart. I'm still very hurt by this. My children are split on this. My son told me I should forgive him and move on. My daughters are more hurt by this and understand why I'm considering a divorce. I think I've already made up my mind, but I wanted to ask for your opinion. What do you think? I've heard you say, once a cheater, always a cheater. Do I make amends or do I move on? Signed, Wondering Wife. This is a toughie because if it's something that happened before you guys got married, but it sounds like you were dating at the time, but before you got married, that's, and if he hasn't done anything like this in 25 years, this might be a little different scenario. But I'm going to yield my time right now to my beautiful bride because I'd love to hear your advice on this.
Yeah, she's an idiot.
What do you mean she's an idiot?
She's an idiot. Really, at a frat party, first of all, I'm sure alcohol was involved. You were not married. This was before your marriage ever happened. You've had 24 years of wedded bliss. If you are absolutely positive that nothing has happened during your marriage, this is a non-issue.
Okay.
This is absolutely a non-issue.
Because it happened a long, long time ago at a frat party, it's a whole different story.
Before they were married. If they were married, it would be a completely different story. But this was before they were married. And yes, he should have told her when it happened.
Yeah.
But he didn't. And it's been 24 years.
I wonder how she found out.
And you've been married that whole time and happily married.
And I wonder how it came to light now because it doesn't say... She says, I just found out that my husband cheated on me. So I wonder if he told her, if it was like eating away at him and he told her.
It probably just came out. He probably didn't even mean to tell her. And then he was like, oh, that's right. She didn't know about that.
That was before we were married, though. Do the math quick. Here, figure this out. Carry the one. Yeah.
I mean, and especially in college, people do stupid things in college. And as long as they were not married, it was an indiscretion, and it's unfortunate that it was an indiscretion. But if he's been loyal for 24 years...
Here's the thing I got to say. I Wondering Wife... Right in the letter, she says, I've heard you say, once a cheater, always a cheater. You've heard that. We've said that. You've said that. I've said that.
Okay, but if he hasn't cheated on your marriage, I mean, you've been married 24 years. Now, it would be a completely different story if you found out, 5 years ago, whatever, since you've been married.
Whole different story.
But if it happened before you got married and he realized when that happened, what if that was the turning point for him? What if that was the night that he decided, this is the woman that I want to marry and I don't want anybody else in my life ever?
Yeah.
And this is why he didn't tell you, because he was afraid that he would lose you. So that's a completely different situation.
Yeah. And again...
He may have strayed and realized right away, that was a mistake, and I am going to marry this woman before she gets away. And that might have been the turning point for him. And if he's been loyal ever since...
I got to say, I'm very shocked by your answer.
Really?
I am. I thought for sure you were going to say, because he did this, that he is a dirty, rotten cheater.
If he did this while you were married, that would be a
whole
different story.
Yes. Well, I really wish that it explained in here how you found out, because that would help me. If he told you, so I'm going to give you 2 different things here, because I don't know the answer to this. If he told you and, kind of came clean and fessed up for what he did wrong, I think that leniency, absolutely, because he didn't even have to tell you.
Of course there should be leniency.
But I'm just saying.
For 24 years.
But if he kept this from her, if he still kept it as a secret, and somehow this came out, the person that he was with, or some friend of a friend told her, I think that's a whole different story, because he kept it locked up. And in that case, then you got to sit there and wonder, okay, how many more happened in the last 24 years that you didn't tell me about?
That would be the only thing I would be worried about.
Exactly.
Is have there been other just indiscretions that he has not mentioned?
Going back to the whole phrase, once a cheater, always a cheater,
But I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt that it was a stupid indiscretion, and he realized then that I need to marry this woman before she gets away because she's the one for me.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think everybody has made a mistake and then thought, I will never, ever do that again. That was such a stupid mistake, and this is how I'm changing my life. And I just choose to believe that that's what he did.
I hope so. That would be good. You can give advice, and you can also submit your questions at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
If you want to grow your business, you can add more customers or sell more stuff to your current customers, or a combination of both. There's no other way to grow your business. Just those two. Add more customers or sell more stuff to your current customers. And if you already have a relationship with your customers and you have their email address, you can reach out to them with special offers to easily grow your sales, and you'll make your customers even happier. Let the experts at Constant Contact help. Get a free trial now. Text Radio Trial to number 22828. That's Radio Trial, all one word, to number 22828.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Until the 1980s, it was illegal for a woman to drive a car down Main Street in Waynesboro, Virginia, unless her husband was walking in front of the car waving a red flag. What? Why would anyone need to... That doesn't make sense. So that was still illegal until the mid-1980s. Oh, my goodness. There's some bizarre laws on the books still.
Yeah, there are.
This is a fun fact right here on the John and Heidi Show. If you have a dog, listen to this. FreshPatch.com is a subscription service that will send you a box with a fresh patch of grass for your dog to use for a few weeks. Then they send you a new fresh patch and you discard the old one. You can throw it in the trash, use it for compost, or even put it in your yard and it'll grow into the ground. FreshPatch.com has thousands of happy dog families who love this concept, especially in the colder months. Try it now for a little less. Use promo code RADIO to save 10%. That's FreshPatch.com, promo code RADIO. Now your grandiloquent word of the day, and it is coconut. Coconut. What do you think coconut means? C-A-C. Would you just stop it?
Do you really want to know what I think it means? What I'm picturing in my head?
Would you stop it? No. You go behave for a moment. C-A-C-H-I-N-A-T-E. And there's two N's there, I guess. C-A-C-H-I-N-N-A-T-E. It is to laugh very loudly, hard, or convulsively. Cockinate. To laugh very loudly. I just had Heidi cockinating right here in this studio. Cockinate. Today's grandiloquent word. We're getting to the time of year where we start planning for holiday parties and other events that often include alcohol. I encourage you to have some alcohol-free options as well. And if you are drinking, be sure to have a designated driver. If you or someone you know has a problem with drugs or alcohol, there is help. TimeForRehab.com would love to connect you with someone who can be there for you or that loved one. If you feel like it's time to finally get the help you need, we're here for you. TimeForRehab.com. That's TimeForRehab.com. Now some weird news for you. On a Thursday, a New York City man charged with setting a massive blaze that damaged more than 135 vehicles at a Brooklyn shopping center told investigators he was, quote, motivated to start the fire by his belief that others used the parked vehicles for sexual activity.
Oh, well, yeah, that makes sense.
He's 23, Yvonne Steffens. He was named in a federal complaint charge where it said that there was a 7-alarm blaze. I don't know the 5-alarm, 4-alarm, 2-alarm. I don't know what that means, a 7-alarm blaze, but a lot of alarms, so it must have been a big blaze. Inside a garage at the Kings Plaza Shopping Center. The garage was used by car dealers to store vehicles for sale.
Oh, boy.
Investigators allege that the vehicles, he torched a Mercedes-Benz. The fire spread to other vehicles. Oh. As he departed the garage Monday, he made an obscene hand gesture toward a surveillance camera. After being apprehended Monday, they say that he routinely went to the garage and accessed vehicles owned by auto dealers. He reportedly confessed to starting the fire because he thought that the parked autos were being used by others for sexual liaisons.
And how would that make this okay?
I don't know. He said
that is expensive.
Says that he's, facing a felony arson charge, being held in a federal detention center in Brooklyn. So it's a bad deal. Not a good plan.
It is.
And that is why it's today's Weird News.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh. According to court records, an Oregon man who believed that he was shadow banned from YouTube due to deep state conspiracy was arrested for allegedly threatening to shoot employees in the online video giant. FBI agents collared a 35-year-old William Gregory Douglas in connection with a recent series of threatening Twitter posts directed at YouTube and its chief executive. And it says here in the tweets, he complained that his YouTube channel has been disabled and threatened to kill, quote, 100 YouTube employees.
Wow.
And, quote, massive casualties. You don't joke about these kind of things.
No, you don't.
He said he was a few hours away from their headquarters and warned, are you going to ignore me? Try to ignore my blank. Okay. Anyway, his gun. But he used some expletives in there. Described by FBI agents in court filings as a long rant about the deep state. He went on about being shadow banned. I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
Anyway, I do have a link to the whole story if you want to read all about it. Even just reading the story makes me feel like my computer's going to probably... I don't know if I want to click on that link. I do have a link to it, though. It's in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
If you want to grow your business, you can add more customers or sell more stuff to your current customers or a combination of both. There's no other way to grow your business. Just those two. Add more customers or sell more stuff to your current customers. And if you already have a relationship with your customers and you have their email address, you can reach out to them with special offers to easily grow your sales, and you'll make your customers even happier. Let the experts at Constant Contact help. Get a free trial now. Text Radio Trial to number 22828. That's Radio Trial, all one word, to number 22828.
Time now for Fake News or Florida. Heidi has to tell me if this is fake news made up to fool her or if it's a true story from the great state of Florida. Heidi, tell me this. A Florida dad was arrested after he drove his 15-year-old son and teenage girlfriend to a local park so they could have nookie, or as he called it, do their thing. Fake news or Florida?
I'm going to say Florida.
That is a true story.
Sadly.
He was released on a $750 bond. His 15-year-old son and his teenage girlfriend.
Oh,
that's just a bizarre
thing. That is
thing.
Bizarre.
Yeah, I don't understand why you would do that. And I'm not sure I don't know what the mechanics were of that. Did he
was
wait
he watching?
there?
That's extremely bizarre.
I don't understand how all that worked. But
I mean, if you just took them to the park and dropped them off, that's one thing.
Something happened. But if that was the plan,
right.
It's like, you guys, okay,
you go do your thing.
Nice shady area right over there if you want to. Here's your blanket.
This is where you were conceived, son.
Yeah,
it's a good spot.
I don't know. Under the willow. It's a good place. I don't know. Fake news of Florida. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of Odiva, the monthly subscription service just for the ladies. All of the details at radiosavings.com. A man helps repair a washed-out road only to discover that it leads to the man who saved his life. How cool is that? So, following the severe weather conditions from Hurricane Florence, there are many amazing stories of people who stepped up. But here's one about a rural community that was left stranded by damaged roads in rural Virginia. Although dozens of volunteers stepped forward to help fix the roads, one man in particular found a greater meaning in his mission. He was helping to repay a police officer who saved his life 18 years ago. Bill Ford and his neighbor were trapped in their home after the floodwaters forged a 10-foot drop in the private road. So there's like a big 10-foot area that washed out. Ordinarily, it wouldn't have cost them. It would have rather cost them roughly $10,000 to fix it themselves.
Wow.
But after broadcasting their dilemma through local news outlets and social media, a team of contractors and engineers offered to fix the roads themselves.
Oh, how great is that?
Team of helpers organized by Winston Mardzin, a business owner who felt inclined to help. After he saw a post about the road on social media, he coordinated the efforts through several phone calls. When they finally met in person, they realized that, hey, you know what? We've met before. Ford is a former deputy, and he saved this man's life in 2000.
Oh, wow.
He answered a call about a young man who had fallen into an icy creek from an ATV, and it says here that he rushed the man to the hospital where he was saved. So now he got a chance to repay the favor.
That's an amazing story.
And he says, I made him a promise way back then that I was going to do something for him to pay him back, and this is it. So That's really cool. I love that story. I've got a link to all the details, and if you want to see, there's even a video of them talking and stuff. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening on a Thursday.